hustling yourself through the process. I love what they say that if you're not embarrassed by the first thing you put out, you waited too long. Our first website, I cringed to death. And that was only 10 months ago. I cringed. Our photos shoot, we did our first photo shoot on a prototype patch that was orange. Our patch is now blue. We went back and we photoshopped. So really just starting is the key. Don't stay in this paralysis forever. Just this analysis paralysis, think, 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 think. Just start as soon as you can.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Female Founder World. I'm your host, Jasmine, and today's conversation is with Suzy Holman, the founder of Jovi. Suzy, welcome to the show. To kick off, we really love all of the founders to come on and just give a bit of an overview about your mission at Jovi and maybe some of the milestones that you've reached as well, just to let people know where you're at in the entrepreneurial kind of story and what stage the business is at too.
Yes, thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. This is super exciting because I still consider Jovi quite new. We're only 10 months old. So 9 actually. And February, March, April, May, June, July. Yes. Okay. I have to count with my fingers because I'm apparently 5, which you can't see. I still consider us quite new, but our mission at Jovi is to free the women of the world from the pain that holds us back. What Jovi is, this sounds crazy. I'm going to sound like a crazy person for those people who have not heard of Jovi. But Jovi is it's a patch, but it is also a medical device that takes away pain, which sounds crazy. It has no chargers. It is thinner than a dollar bill. And we are targeting it towards menstrual cramps because forever, all we've had is Midol. That is the only solution that has been somewhat viable for cramps. And half the time it doesn't even work. So Jovi is this device that recognizes the signal of pain and it filters it out of your body. So nothing is inserted into your body through this patch. All it does is picks up that electrical energy, takes it into the patch and sends it away. It was actually discovered by military scientists who were doing research on antennas and frequencies and found, holy crap, by basically accident, they've discovered, holy cow, we tuned into the frequency of pain and we can filter that out. So I met the person who had this technology. His name's Mike Hammond. And he said his brand was called Signal Relief. He said, we're taking this, we're starting with the old people, but it works really good on cramps. I said, what? How good on cramps? He said, it works like almost 100% of the time, it knocks the cramps out. I said, there's absolutely no way that that's actually true. No way. But my best friend was like, I'm going to show you that this is true. She works with me now at Jovi. So we went on a mission to see if this would work. We went in our hometown and we took this patch for people. I put on Instagram, hey, are you having cramps right now? Can we come to your house? We put it on these women having cramps. Lo and behold, the patch is as miraculous as they say, which is hard to believe. But we have, like I said, we're a beginning company. We have over 40,000 people that are using the patch. Our return rate is less than nothing because this patch works. So our goal is to free the women of the world from we're starting with menstrual pain, but we're not going to stop there because the signal of pain is the same, whether it's coming from your uterus or your shoulder or your knees, it's the same. So we're starting with cramps. Some exciting stuff that we did. We launched this brand with less than $60,000 in our pockets. So we had a shoestring budget for this launch. And within the first 4 hours, we had done $1 million in sales of our pre-launch. And by first day, we'd made it to $1.5 million of sales. Why? Because it's about freaking time. There's something to solve for cramps. The world, it's about time that there is something here. And what I'm so proud of is that super low return rate because it's a hard product to believe, but the proof is that people keep it. The people love it. They share it with others. They come back and buy it like crazy. They're sharing it with everybody they know that has pain. So it's super exciting to be a part of. So that's kind of where we're at today, Jovi. We are in the beginning. We're still in the beginning, still a little bit in the stages of throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks.
Okay, there is so much stuff to dig in there. That is incredible. I did not know that you did $1 million in sales for your launch. That's amazing. I just want to wind back a little bit, and you find that there's this incredible technology. You work out that it works. You automatically like think, hey, this could be a really great business and more women need to know about this. What did you do next? What are the next steps from that idea to where you are now? How did you get there?
Such a good question. So I was an influencer. I had 150,000 followers, and the second I saw this patchwork, I told everybody. I said, "Holy crap, you guys! What is this magic?" So I brought people along as we built the brand. I think so. From inception, I brought people along on the journey. This did not pop out of anywhere. Actually, my Instagram community helped us name the patch. They helped us figure out the colors for the patch. They submitted designs for the patch. Every single person that currently works at Jovi was from within that community. And it was awesome that I was an influencer and I had this really big pool to start a business with. But the exact same principles that I did with Jovi, bringing people along from the second you have the idea to when you launch, I think is such an awesome model that more people should adopt, because everyone is so invested in watching you try new things, watching you build it, pick your colors, pick your name. What are you going through? That when that moment came, they were like, okay, orders are pre-launch. They're so invested that of course they're going to buy. So if you have a new business, take that same model, bring them along, show them your Pinterest mood board, show them your Canva homemade logos, bring them along the journey. Ask them along the way. Do the market research. Do you like this or this? Is this crap? Yes. Okay. Go in a different direction.
Oh, I love that. I love the whole idea of building in public rather than kind of trying to just launch to crickets. You know what I mean? Like it really does make sense.
Build in public. That is such a good way to put that. Why people don't build in public is because it's scary and embarrassing. You do a lot of like embarrassing. The original mock-ups of the Jovi patch are actually comical. And I was on my mom's dining room table with crayons doing the first mock-up. But how much more invested are you in someone when you see the struggle of what it took, when you respect the struggle of what it took to build it? You're just so much more invested for the long haul than something you heard about 30 seconds ago on TikTok.
Absolutely. How long did it take you to go through that process until you launched?
90 days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was insane. I think I almost died. I'm pretty sure I almost died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was
Oh my
wild.
gosh. How?
I would not recommend it, honestly. How? Because once you tell women, why we had to go so crazy fast is once you tell women, hey, there's this patch that's going to take away your cramps. They're like, cool, I need it yesterday. So we had all of these people wanting it, which as a new business owner, if your offer is good, you will have the same thing. If your offer is a way that serves people in a way that they want to be served, that demand will be there. And hustling yourself through the process. I love what they say, that if you're not embarrassed by the first thing you put out, you waited too long. Our first website, I cringed to death. And that was only 10 months ago. I cringed. Our photos shoot, we did our first photo shoot on a prototype patch that was orange. Our patch is now blue. We went back and we photoshopped. So really just starting is the key. Don't stay in this paralysis forever. Just this analysis paralysis, think. Just start as soon as you can.
Oh, that is such great advice. And you said that you funded the company early on with your savings and you've bootstrapped. Have you taken on any other like external investments since then? And if not, why?
Yes, that's such a good question. Actually, the technology costs like $38 million to fund in research. So the person that I told you about, Mike Hammond, that had the brand of Signal Relief, which is the same technology, just a little bit different target demographic that we're going after. He self-funded that company, which was able to give us a little bit of the budget that we had to start the company. So we will be bringing on investors as we hit retail and Target and all of those things. So we're still in that first beginning 10-month phase. So we'll let you know.
Amazing. I'm really interested to know about your approach to distribution and how you feel about focusing on e-commerce and D2C versus the need to, like you said, roll out into Target, roll out into different retail partners. What do you think are the benefits and the drawbacks of both of those things for someone who's an early stage kind of founder?
Yes. So I think designing with the goal of Target in mind helped us think, okay, we need a brand that is legit enough that if it got presented to Target, that we would look legit, our brand would be on lock, and this was our goal. But no one comes out of the gate with Target. You have to earn Target, right? You have to show, hey, there's enough like D2C, there's enough of this demand on my e-commerce. The Target's like, okay, I'm interested. People will know what they're seeing when it's on our shelf. So really starting with your raving fan customer base is the place to start. Always forward thinking to what is your ultimate vision and dream for your company, but starting with the raving fans and how do you build those to where you really want to go, I think is important. The benefits of both D2C, honestly, if you're on shelf as a Target, but no one knows what you are, chances are that's not even going to hit. So that's one of the tough things about going to retail is if there's none of that, like know, like, trust portion of your brand. If you're in retail, it's not going to soar. So starting, like I said, raving fans, D2C, such a great way to go.
On a really practical level, what are some of the things that you kind of have to have lined up before you launch into retail? Like, what are some of the things that you think about? And in terms of both from like your operations side of the business, and then also in terms of what questions are retailers asking that you need to be prepared to answer?
Yes, that's such a good question. And we're still in such early stages of those conversations that I don't have all of the answers. But what I can tell you is making sure that your product is wanted, making sure that your reviews are super on lock to make sure that they can get excited about this because customers are excited about it. Making sure that your return rate, if you are a product, that is something that is low. Retailers aren't going to want to take a chance on something that half the time gets returned. So making sure that you are completely optimized in what you're doing so that it's as attractive to a retailer as possible. Getting those ducks in a row, personnel-wise, branding-wise, and marketing and awareness is just huge as well as you go to retail.
I'm always really curious to find out how different founders kind of structure their day. And I know there's no like normal or not even an average day for a lot of people who work in this space because you've got so much stuff kind of going on and things change on the fly. But what kind of things are you looking at in an average day from morning to night? Like how do you approach things and what's on your plate?
That's such a good question. I'm actually what they call, I think most actually of us are a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Jovi is one of my companies. I have another company called Suzy School where I teach women to grow their businesses. I'm super passionate about that. So it's a day-to-day, hour by hour. What is taking priority today? What is going to move the needle in this business right now, in this business? So I'll tell you my day today. I woke up at 6. I did some journaling. And then I have had 3 podcast interviews, 2 for Jovi, 1 for Suzy School. I will pick up my kids. I will go in the middle of the day to get a McDonald's Diet Coke run because, oh, praise, I got to clear my brain out. If you don't have some middle of the day breakup moment, you're going to just keep going. You got to have one of those. So I run and get a Diet Coke, and then I pick up my kids from school, and we go back at it a little bit in whatever. Where if I have a big project, there's seasons of business, right? There's like selling seasons, just like the seasons of planting crops. There's winter season. Okay, now it's going a lot on. You're doing a lot of like mental work. Then you're working on yourself a lot. Then you're going into planting season. That's strenuous. Then you're going into growing it, keeping it alive. And then you get to go in the harvest season and you get to reap the benefits. Each one of those requires different time commitments and different things you focus on. So being a multi-passionate entrepreneur, I make sure that neither are in the same harvest season at the same time. I would never be like, okay, I'm going to launch this new Jovi product at the same time as I launch a course at Suzy School. That would be insane, stupid, and neither of them would get done well. So I think for people that are trying to do multiple things at once, stagger those seasons of where you're at is some helpful advice. And the days are just never quite the same for me. I will say I beat myself up for that for a lot of time, being like, I'm so creative and so all over the place, and I'm here, then I'm there. And actually, I think that may be one of my superpowers. If you are a person like me that feels like I'm all over the place, you know what's cool about being an all over the place person? Your brain works faster than others. So instead of beating yourself up, trying to stick to some super strict routine, embrace that your brain is here, there, everywhere, and go after it in your own way. That's what I do. Here, there, everywhere. That's my day.
That is such great advice. I actually wrote a note down about staggering the seasons. I'm someone who works on multiple projects at the same time. And like for the podcast, for example, now I'm batching the content and then I roll that content out. And during the 2 weeks while it's rolling out, I'm working on something else. And I just feel like staggering that kind of thing so that you can be fully focused and present with whatever your goal is in that moment is really important. So that's like such a good way of phrasing it. I love that.
Thank you.
I wanted to dive into Suzy School, which you just mentioned. Could you tell listeners who aren't familiar with the coaching work that you do, how you kind of got involved in that space and the kind of services that you offer?
Yes. So how I got involved in that space, I was actually an influencer for a while, a paid full-time job, doing all the swipe ups for all the outfits and the HelloFresh. And it wasn't feeding my soul. I was like, okay, is there more to this than swipe up for HelloFresh? Please let there be more. And at the time, I thought, okay, I'm actually pretty good at this Instagram thing. I think I might want to teach people Instagram. I hosted my first retreat teaching what I knew very well, which was Instagram. And through that first retreat, I like in the world, we call it like your minimally viable product, your first try, your first thing putting out into the world. This was this first Instagram retreat. And at that retreat, I was like, this is the most magical thing I've ever done. Teaching women to see something bigger and teaching them how to systematically go after their dreams. And I learned that it was bigger than Instagram. So it's now grown from Instagram. Now we teach beginning businesses. We teach software businesses all the way up to million dollar companies. The principles are kind of still the same. So that's how I got involved in this work, was trying something, figuring out. You dig a little bit and then you're like, oh, there's a gem under there. Oh, I think there's something more. You keep digging. And honest to goodness, I think I'll keep digging my entire life and keep teaching what I learn. So that's how I got started.
I love that. I was kind of having a look through your site and socials and everything before this chat, and something that you had written about somewhere was about the difference between working in versus on your business. And I think that that's a really important distinction. Could you chat a little bit about what the difference between those two approaches are and how people can, engineer to be doing the correct approach?
Yes. So my goal at Suzy School is that everyone becomes a business owner and not a business operator. A business operator, you have to be the one cranking the wheel to get this thing to go all the time. You're the one doing it. Business owners, other people are cranking. You're going in, you're helping, but it still runs. If you take off for a month, the thing's not burning to the ground. The only way to get to that business ownership is to get yourself out of the weeds, stop working in your business all the time, take a bird's eye view and work on your business. That is the only way to get your business going from wherever it is now to taking it to the next level. You need to work as hard at what you're selling at, like as why you're selling it. Where do you want to go? So ways to work on your business, not in your business. Schedule time to think about strategy. Schedule time to make sure your funnels are on lock. Schedule time to meet with others that could help you grow your business. I always say, if there's any retreats, courses, masterminds that you can get into, do it, because that forces you to invest. Once you invest in yourself, you're forced to work on your business, not in it. And sometimes we need that accountability of, okay, I'm going to fly to this new place so that I actually get out of the weeds for 3 days. And you'll be amazed at what happens if you just put a little time working on it instead of in it.
What are some of the main things that you find are kind of holding women back when they come and speak to you about their businesses?
Number one thing that holds people back, this phrase, what will they think? We are so fearful about what people think about us that it paralyzes us. We don't put ourselves out there. We don't put what we really want out there. We put what they want, or we put what we think they want. We aren't our own authentic selves. That number one thought block, once you can remove this thought block of, I'm so nervous about what people are thinking of me, things get amazing. I would challenge your listeners to do a couple things. Who is that person when you say, what will they think? When you're worried about starting something new or trying something, who are those people that you're honestly terrified that they're going to watch you fail? for me, it was like, okay, I'm kind of embarrassed. My friends, my mom, I don't want her to see me. And then, yes, strangers on the internet, but do I care as much about them? It came down to the people I knew close were the people I was embarrassed. Like, you're going to see me try something new. So a way to really go beat that, it was I had conversations with people like my moms and my close friends. Hey, I'm trying something. I might fail. It's going to be embarrassing. Bear with me. I'm going to need all the love as I'm doing this. And it collapsed that fear of what will they think, because I addressed it head on. So I hope that your listeners will take that advice, and who is that person that's holding them back in their head, and go have a conversation with that person and work through that limiting belief.
Oh, that's great advice. The last question that I ask everyone who comes on the show is to give a recommendation of some kind of resource, like it could be a book, it could be a podcast, it could be a community that you're part of that has helped you in your kind of, for want of a better word, entrepreneurial journey, in your path to where you are now and growing your business. And that could be about you becoming a better business leader. It could be about tactical things in the business, but just something that's kind of pushed you along the way.
I always think that it sounds cliche. It's not what you know, who you know, but surrounding yourself with people further ahead than you in your journey is the key. So I've gathered people further ahead of me in different industries. I have a good friend that's a super high up hospital administrator. We can bounce ideas off each other. I have one that owns a essential oils empire, right? But when you surround yourself with higher level people, your brain starts to think higher. You start to aspire to more. So for me, it's not one place, it's multiple places, because it's people. Aspire and try to put yourself in circles with the people you want to be with, learn from, grow with, be like. It's people for me.
Oh, Suzy, so much great stuff in that conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your story and all of your insights, and for coming on the show.
Can I drop a code for anybody who might want a Jovi patch? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Yes, please use Jasmine30. Get $30 off a Jovi patch. We all know that girl that's like debilitated by cramps 1 week a month, 2 weeks a month, is down and out. That's you? Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We know that girl. They need this patch. I can't believe I haven't sent you a patch, Jasmine. I'm the worst person ever. You'll be getting a patch overnighted right now.
I need to get one. I need one.
Yes, you do. I'm sending it. Try this patch. It's like risk-free. One patch lasts you for years. Give it to those girls who need it so that they can live their best lives. So
amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Guys, it's Jasmine again, and I'm just jumping back in to quickly say a huge thank you to everyone who has been leaving 5-star reviews. It's really helpful when it comes to getting guests on the show like Suzy. So if you want to see more awesome interviews with founders, please, the best way you can support the show is just to give us a 5-star review wherever you listen. I'll see you at the next episode. Bye.